Good morning, Academy55 Premier members. Here we are again. Another live trading session on Wednesday, the 21st of February. It's currently 5 to 7 in the morning, UK time. And I will be trading the Academy55 strategy between the hours of 8 and 9, looking for a sell, for an alert, and then a red ribbon, volume ribbon, red trend, red wave, and for a buy alert, a green ribbon, a green trend, and a green wave. This is what I do, and we have had very good results in the past with using this. I trade between 8 and 9 because for me, statistically, there is a bigger chance of volume going into the hour than a lot of other times of the day. But realistically, volume can appear anywhere between 7 and 8, 7 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. This session is being recorded for later use for anybody who wants to view it. But being a premium member, you will be able to see this live. So like I say, we will now be marking up the charts. I put a vertical line in at 8 o'clock to remind me that's when I'm starting to trade. And then I'll put another vertical line in at 9 o'clock. Trade only between those 2 hours, being strict with myself and seeing consistent results in the longer term by doing that. Also, check your MT4 where we place the trades. Make sure your trade assistant is working, and that's on purple 2 to 1. You got your lock calc on 2 to 1. And if you want to close trades, make sure that square is, well, there's 2 ways you can do it, but the easiest way is use this trade assistant. There's a square there. It comes out of the box in light blue. Make sure it's purple, and then when you want to close a trade, press close all, and then you'll be good to go. So make sure that's okay. Oh, and sorry, yeah, and make sure you are on the EURUSD and you're on the 1 minute time frame. These things sound, sometimes these things sound obvious. But what we can see looking at the chart, we are basically hugging the EMA 462 line where price likes to go, but we are in a bit of a sell trend because price is below the 462. So we will be looking for a little bit of a sell. And anything that happens after 8 o'clock, hopefully we will be able to get a trade or 2. I'd like to see 1, but we might actually get 2. Who knows? But between the hours of 8 and 9 is like what I like to trade, because statistically, on the longer term view, this is the time of the day where you get a chance for the most volume. Not the most volume, but bigger pushes of volume going one way or another, and we take advantage of that using our Academy55 indicators. because basically we are chasing the volume one way or the other using the indicators that we see. Like for example, now we've got a sell down on 8 o'clock, so I'm going to be putting this and putting the line chart on, and we want to sell, so got a sell alert, but the volume ribbon is still red. Trend line is still, sorry, the volume ribbon is still green. The trend line is still green, and it's at price at the moment. We want the trend line to be above price for a sell, and indeed the sell as alert has disappeared. So from what could have been a very fast situation, we can now analyze it properly. The wave has just started to turn red here. But that sell alert should come back again, like it has now. But we have not got a red trend line, and we want to see that volume wave turn red, and the sell alert keeps flashing on and on, off and on, what we call painting and repainting. So I'd like to put my stop loss down a little bit, but I've gone below 2 pips basically. So I'm not showing 1%. Let's just turn it off and on again. So when I'm ready to place the trade, I will indeed readjust that. Really, it should be on the trend line, but it's far too close to entry. Hence why I don't get my 1% with the trader's assistant. And really, it's very, very cautionary to be more than 2 pips away from entry anyway, because it's far too close. So the trend line is still green, and it's below price, which is not what we want to see for a sell. The trend line's got to be red and above price if we are going for a sell. And at the moment, we are seeing a bit of accumulation. So I'll take the line thing off a minute so you can see a lot clearer. Actually, I can move this by pressing that over there, moving it over there, and we can see the MT4 a little bit clearer. But we can quite clearly see the volume ribbon is still green, and the wave is just about red. But the trend line is below price and green at the moment. But things could change very, very quickly because we're on the minute time frame. So we're here ready, in readiness, waiting and watching. We're now 4 minutes into past 8 o'clock here in the UK. So I'm going to check my expert advisor actually. So go into properties, remove, put it on again, double click, and put it on settings. And now, as we can see, the line chart on. Right, so we are indeed hugging this EMA 462 line. So we'll go back to trading view where I can see you can see things a little bit clearer. That's interesting. We have a sell alert on the MT4, but we don't have actually sell alert on the trading view because the brokers are slightly different. We've got FXCM, that is the nearest broker to our broker on MT4, but it isn't 100% precise because FTMO got their own broker. And although they're very, very similar, they're not a 100% match. That's why you'll see little differences. Not enough to worry us too much. But it still looks at the moment as a sell will taking place. But we are dancing around the 462 EMA line. And like I say, we take advantage of, mainly we take advantage of volume bursts as shown by our indicators. So we have to wait and see what happens. Now we have a parallel size flipped from above price to below price. So that sell we was anticipating is no longer in play. And we've got more accumulation hanging on to the 462 line. So we have to wait and see what happens from this. We had a buy alert back here. But seeing all this accumulation, I ain't so keen on acting on that buy alert. I'd just rather, you know what, if this happens, this technically, like the other day, could happen all the way till 9 o'clock. If it does, it does. I'm going to be very cautious. I'm going to wait for a fresh alert one way or the other, if indeed that does happen. So as traders, we are paid to wait, be patient. But as you can allude to, because we're on the minute time frame, when things happen, they can happen rather quickly because of the minute time frame. So here we are, waiting for an alert of some kind, one way or the other. We've got our MT4 ready, and indeed a buy alert ensued on our MT4. But as you can see, things are very tricky. And like I said before, because we are using FXCM as our broker feed, but on our FTMO, we are global assistant, I think it's called, which is a different broker. And although they are very, very similar, they're not 100% match, but it's the closest we can get to it, because TradingView does not have the same broker as a feed as the FTMO, but it's the closest we can get to it, and it works jolly well most of the time. Well, 99% of the time. But obviously we have to take the ultimate decision from our FTMO indicator, or FTMO broker, should I say? Sorry about that. Yeah. But as you can see, price is dallying around the trend line. And because we're dancing here with accumulation, it's a lot easier to see on TradingView. All we can see here, I'll draw this box up for you. There's an accumulation around this area here. This is all that. So I can get that on there. Settings, turn that to style. Let's turn that white. So yeah, all this area here is accumulation. No definite volume bursts. And it's hugging the 462 line with no alerts on TradingView. So I'm quite happy to wait, because we're hugging the trend line here also. So there's no definite wishes for price to move very far at the moment. No volumes coming into the market. And you will learn all this, obviously, over time. What you're seeing from experience and stuff like that. But overall, we are underneath, we're more underneath the 462 line than we are above. So I'd be happy if a sell, I'd be more happy if a sell came up, and be a little bit more confident with a sell than I would with a buy. But we are in this accumulation area at the moment. Now the waves have started to turn red. We have imbalance here that needs to be picked up at some stage. Although the trend line is pointing up and still very much green, the volume ribbon is starting to turn red. So let's turn it over to MT4. I'm going to put the line chart on, reverse it for a sell situation. That's horrible. I don't know why it's doing that. Right, close to the 2%, which is my trade assistant needs adjusting, which obviously I'm not going to do now because we are a bit busy. But so I'll pull that down to. But you can manually adjust this. Just to hold your finger, left click, and you can manually adjust that. But we are under the 462 line. It's hugging and more accumulation. So this is what we can see at the minute. Any strategy, accumulation happens between 75 and 80% of the time on all pairs. They go into accumulation. And it's accumulation that basically is the bugbear of any strategy. So we want to try and stay away from accumulation and get used to watching out for accumulation and indeed watching for breaks out of accumulation. Right, nothing happening there. So we will go back to trading view. So I had the lock on, and you have to take the lock off and it'll be on 2%. So I was reminded of that by Steve. So thanks very much, Steve, for that. And it will all show 2% now. That's what I was doing wrong. Right, back to trading view. Where you see wicks under a candle and above a candle, that they are indecision, and we had a big indecision candle there, so it's not really knowing which way it wants to go. in the meantime, it likes to hug its safe place, which is this purple line, the EMA 462, before making a bold decision to go one way or the other. Whenever they decide to do that, we just don't know, but we're here lying in wait. And I will go back to MT4 again now. And I'll reverse that. No, sorry, I'm hoping, well, not hoping, but maybe we're going to get some sort of sell. Parallel SAR is above price, but we want our alert to show. But we have to wait. Got my 2% now, staying at 2% all the time, 1% there because I unticked that basically. Still got the trend line is still green. So there are two reasons why we can't get in the trade. We haven't got a sell alert, and we haven't got a green trend line as yet. Now we've got a sell alert coming up. I hope you can see that. Just going to wait for the trend line to turn red. But the sell alert has gone away again because we are in an accumulation area waiting for a volume burst. If it happens one way or the other, so we are still waiting to see what happens. Right, we have and the trend line has turned red, as you can see. But I haven't got any positive bursts as yet. So I put my stop loss down. It should be on the trend, but I'm giving it a little bit more respect than that. And indeed, I'm going to go for a sell. I've given my stop loss a bit more respect because it was too close to the entry. And now I'm in the trade for a sell. Sorry, I don't want to move that. So what I want to do, move this over here so we can see what's going on. Oops, shut on again. And now we've got a sell because we've basically broken this top, this I can show you better on trading view actually. I'll move that down there. We broke this area here, these levels here. It shows me the commitment to a deeper sell. We had a sell alert, a red volume ribbon, a red trend line. So we got in about here, and this is where we are at the minute. To get the coordinates so I can draw it off for you on TradingView. Most of you rather watch it on MT4 anyway, so that's fine. But I like to draw it on both. And we've got time now because there's nothing we can do about this. My stop loss is a bit more, a bit higher than I would have liked it. But down here, I'm very close to the 2 pip mark where I'm not sure of getting 1%. And that for me is more important. Slightly, well, where the stop loss goes is important, don't get me wrong, but I want to make sure that I get a 1% stop loss. And if I pull it down too far, I'm in danger of losing that 1% calculation. I've got my 2% take profit here, which is important. So that's why my stop loss is slightly higher than I would like, but in reality, it's only like somewhere between half a pip and a pip higher than it should. I would like it, but because I want the calculation of the 1%, that's why it is where it is. So now, go and make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. No, there's no real benefit in watching this. Locked in now. All it's doing is playing with your mindset. So to get the calculations, so I can draw it on TradingView, I've got a pen. So what we do is I get the line tool for MT4 and I go to where the entry was, and the entry for me was at 1.0809. So I'm going to write that down. 1.0809. Stop loss is at, for me, my stop loss is at, double click on that line, and you get these little squares here. I don't know whether you can see that. But that means that allows you to drag the line on MT4 down, and the stop loss for me is at 1.08118. So I'm going to write that down. 1.08118. So again, to get rid of that, right click, delete. So come over to TradingView, and I can put those coordinates in there. So get my short position tool, and my entry was at 1.0809, which is 09, which is there. My stop loss is at 1.08118, 08118, which is there, just underneath the 462 line. So that means my 2% would be there. And just to double check, my 2% is at 1.08034. 1.08034. 034. So let's just check on trading MT4. So again, if I get my line tool, drag it down to there, 1.08. .003. Yeah, you know what I said about the FTMO broker and the trading view broker being ever so different. 034 is. Right, okay. Let's double check that. Right, okay, that's interesting. I got those coordinates correct. That's 2 to 1. This must be to do with commissions. Yeah, it must be to do with commissions. But down here, I want to point this out, down this area here, where you get 3 zeros at the end, I know that this is a very important area. This is what we call a key area. Anything with 3 zeros at the end, we'll even draw that up. This area down here is what's called a key area. This is a psychological area where bankers and institutions like to start trades, end trades, that sort of thing. So this is a very, very key sort of area. I don't know whether, well, yeah, let's do this. We're already in the trade. I've got my coordinates. So let's just take that off and put it on the hourly time frame. Indeed, that's that line, the key area line. Put it on the 4-hour time frame. And see where price respects this line on the higher time frames, on the 4-hourly, once, twice. So this is an important area. More than 2 touches is an important area. Let's put it on the line chart. See, there we go. Touch. Nearly there. And there also. So anyway, I'm digressing now. Turn over to ordinary candles again. Put it back on the minute. Oh, I should have done that. Put it on the 4-hourly and then do that, which is good. Put it back on the minute. So again, we're into some more accumulation. Put my indicator back on. So we're more into more accumulation around here. No volume burst, not a lot of volume at the moment. But because we're on the minute time frame, I'm sure you can appreciate things can happen relatively quickly. But more accumulation at the moment, but all the time going down, which is what we want to see really for our trade. And the difference I'm seeing with TradingView and our broker is the commission price and stuff like that. Let's go back to the MT4 because we are hovering around the entry line now. I'll take this line off. You double click, left double click. Don't know whether you can see it, but you get 2 little line, little box there. So that means you can either move it, or in this case, right click and delete. So that's how you get a little line just to check where you are in conjunction with TradingView. I'm going to move this over here. And keep it like that. I will be here, but really you lot should be going away and making a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or do something, because there is no value in watching this trade. It's just going to upset your mindset. And why put yourself through all that anguish? There's no need of it. So I'm going to go on mute and I'll come back either at 9 o'clock or if something really interesting happens, one way or the other. Speak to you soon. Okay, so of course, the reality is now that this, in fact, could take a while to get there. We don't know. I have seen them go on for two hours, but the reality is, if you have other stuff you need to do in the day, the option of what you do to protect your equity is entirely your own decision. For example, if you get to this stage and you have to go somewhere, or something happens to your computer or whatever, you can either take the trade now, or as traders, we are paid to be patient, so we have to be patient to get into the trade. So I'd like to think that you were patient enough to see the take profit, but the reality is the decision has to be yours. This is just for educational purposes only. You're just watching how but the reality is I have to go out later on, and so if this lasts any longer, I would put my stop loss to my entry, so you've got a risk-free trade of what's going down. And of course, if it hits take profit, it will. You walk away with your 2%, which I hope it will do within the next 8 minutes. But the reality is, I don't know. I don't know. It depends how much volume comes into the market, and we never know how much volume is going to come into the market. All we know is statistically between 8 and 9, there's a higher chance of more volume coming into the market on those at that hour. But the reality is, sometimes it comes in at 7 and stays there till about 10. Sometimes it lasts, the volume lasts all day. But statistically between 8 and 9, because you've got the European market opening at 7 UK time, so that produces a bit of volume. And then theoretically you've got more volume coming in at 8 o'clock because London opening. So, and then that volume could last all morning. So we have a little bit of way to go. Theoretically, another 3 pips or thereabouts till a successful trade. I'm not a superstitious person, but I wish I never said that. Touching wood as I say that. So I've got another 6 minutes to go on this, if indeed we last another 6 minutes. So they're the options for you, really. So hopefully we'll get enough volume push to push us another. Oh, we're only 1.9 pips away from take profit. So a little bit more of a volume push, and indeed we will have had a successful trade. And we might even get it before 9 o'clock with a bit of luck. So we're at 5 to 9 now. And indeed, there we go. You've been listening to me. So, there we go. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you on. Oh yeah, sorry, very quickly. Going to show you the reason why I'm not trading tomorrow. Thursday, you can have a lie-in. Thursday, February the 22nd, all this red flag news between 8 and 9 when I trade. We do not trade red flag news whatsoever. The 1, 2, 3, the markets will go crazy between 8 and 9 tomorrow. And tomorrow afternoon, 2:45, which is the other favorite time I do between 3 and 4, we have red flag news. And at 3 o'clock, we got all this news going on for the US. So Thursday, I'd rather have a day off. So thanks very much, and we'll come back stronger on Friday. Let's see where we are at the minute. There we go. Thanks very much for your time, and speak to you soon. Bye for now.